start with a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. And you can be on your bum, you can be on your knees. If your legs are crossed, go ahead and bring one slightly in front of the other. If your legs are out like this, that's really not a big deal. And just lower your gaze or close your eyes. And really get into your body. Your hands can be on your knees if you'd like. Take those hands and start at the feet and just kind of give yourself a nice little squeeze massage. Maybe on the bottoms of the feet. Just recognize they're your feet and they're working hard for you all day long. You do the same thing with the ankles. Coming up to the calves and the shins. Just giving yourself a nice light squeeze, a nice light massage, whatever that means to you, whatever feels nice. And come into your thighs, your knees, back of the knee. You can open up your legs a little bit if that feels nice for you. Come in the inner thigh. Excuse me. Give your hips a little squeeze. Come into your belly. Give your belly an appreciative, good job, belly. You're the best belly I've ever had. Maybe give yourself a little squeeze in the low back. Give your kidneys a little pep talk. Kidneys are the best kidneys I've ever had. I love you, kidneys. Come into the sides of the intercostal muscles and the ribs here. Maybe give yourself a little massage along those. If you want to come up to your collarbone and your chest. And grab opposite shoulders. Go ahead and go down the upper arm. Go down your ulna and radius. And grab each hand. Give yourself a nice little hand-holdy smoosh. Make sure you give some attention to the wrists as well. And we'll bring those hands back to the sides of the neck and the shoulders. Grabbing the back of the neck, maybe the sides, maybe where the lymph nodes are. And then yourself a little lymph node squeeze. Sides of the head. If you want to touch your face, you can. You certainly don't have to. Maybe your ears. Maybe a little squeeze on the outer edge of the ears. And then just give yourself a nice little head scratch, head massage, right up to that center where that string is pulling you up nice and tall. When you're ready, you can relax back down to your seated position, releasing your hands down to your knees. Just take a few deep breaths here. Recognizing that you're in this place at this time. Maybe acknowledging the sounds around you or the smells that you smell. Acknowledging the way your sit bones feel pressed against the mat. Maybe by just clearing your mind of the things you have to do later or the things that happened earlier today. Enjoying a nice, fresh couple of breaths. Being a living, breathing being a living being breathing in this moment. Continue to breathe while I take a drink of water and try to stop slurring. Uncross the, or sorry, change the crossing of the legs, put the opposite leg in front. Then you can gently open your eyes. We'll remain seated here. And we'll start just by bringing our arms out to the side in a big T. You can flex your wrists. You can bend your fingers or make fists if you can't quite get a full flexed palm. And start just by internally and externally rotating your shoulders. Make sure you've got a straight line coming from your shoulder out to your wrist. And if you can feel crunch, I can hear a lot of crunchies in one of these arms. So go ahead and continue to twist in and out. And if you feel crunchies, you can just go a little slower or maybe not make such big circles. Tuck those ribs in if they're sticking out. And when you're ready, we'll take one arm across to the other side, reaching for the other hand. And then we'll kind of come back to our center. We'll bring that arm over for a stretch. See if you can release that shoulder down from the ear. You can give yourself a little massage anywhere that's maybe sore or that's stretching or that you want to activate and let it know that it's time to start working. We're going to guide this elbow up into the air, bend it down the back, and just reach for the center of the back with your hand. Take the stretch out of the ribs, put it back into that arm. We're going to stretch those arms straight up above. We're going to come back out to our T. We're going to take the opposite hand towards the other hand, reaching fingertips towards fingertips. This knee came off the mat for me. Then we'll come back to center and stretch that arm. Bringing that shoulder away from the ear as much as you can. Bring those arms back up to a nice straight up in the air, reaching those fingertips out of to the sides, pretending we have that beach ball between the hands. And then we'll come back out to our T. Flex your muscles. Make sure you've got a nice 90-degree angle in both of your elbows. And from here, we're going to make nice robot arms, flexing each bicep as we go up. Flex your bicep on the way down too. Making sure you got a nice right angle. It's tempting. I'm clearly trying to be a muscle man here. When you have enough of that, we'll come back to our nice strongman arms. Press out to the sides. And then from here, we'll reach over the top. Again, stretching in those intercostal muscles, not pushing those ribs out, but letting them open up. Thumb pointed towards the back of the room. You can move your ear away from your arm. Dropping that elbow to the ground if you'd like a little bit deeper of a stretch. And here we're going to come back to center. Then exhale out to the other side. Both sit bones firmly planted into the ground, thumb facing the back of the room, stretching through the intercostal muscles and the arm. Dropping down to your elbow to find more space in the side body here. If your sit bone comes up off the ground, try to bring it back down. Really opening up in that side. When you're ready, we'll come back to center. We're going to do a nice itty bitty camel here. So we're just going to bring our arms back behind you, point your fingertips back behind you, and shine that chest towards the ceiling. Your chin can be nice and neutral. You don't have to bring it down to your neck. You don't have to reach your neck over. This is about the chest opening, not the neck. On your next exhale, we'll come back to a nice neutral spine, and I will meet you in tabletop. Coming into tabletop, we're going to tuck those toes under, help them if you need to. And then we're going to slowly walk back so that we're sitting up. Just a couple breaths here, no need to stay for very long. If that's too much for you, you can walk back down. We'll put those toes back to the ground and still sit the bum back. All right, from here, we're going to do that gentle camel again. So bring those arms up into the air. Tuck those ribs in. And then round your arms back so you're windmilling them back behind you. And just reach back to the back of the ground. Fingertips can be tented back here if you'd like. And we'll just do a nice open chest to the sky. Again, nice neutral neck. Chin can be even with, I don't know what plane. Just don't reach it into the air. And don't bring it down. All right. Windmill your arms back around, maybe one at a time. This time we're going to tuck that pelvis under here and lift up in the pelvis. We're still tucking it under, tucking the tailbone under, and pushing that pelvis forward. You may feel it in your psoas muscles here. You can have a nice straight line here, or you can have your, if you're very flexible, you can have your pelvis pressed out further. If you're comfortable with bringing your knees out a little wider, I just did, if you didn't notice that. Excuse me. From here, if you're happy, stay. You can come up on your toes again. So your toes are tucked under. Tilt that pelvis forward. And one at a time, windmill those arms back to touch the heels. Or a block. Or the ground. It's great for opening the front of the thighs. So that's where you should be feeling most of the stretch. This is too intense. Bring one arm into the air. It can still reach behind you, but it won't feel as horrible. If you're doing one arm at a time, go ahead and switch your arms. And then come back down to center. From here, we'll come back to our tabletop pose. Nice neutral spine. Tops of the toes are on the mat. Fingers are pressed into the ground. You can start your first cat or sorry, your cow pose by dropping down that udder and shining that chest forward. Almost pulling your chest through the arms and through the shoulders. Those hip points in the back are reaching to the sky. On your next exhale, we're going to round in the spine, pulling that belly button towards the back, folding in half, reaching through the upper arms, reaching through the shoulders. You can tuck your toes under here. Option to come up on your fingertips. Nice tucked tailbone here. Few deep breaths in cat pose. Your neck is loose and neutral here, not holding any tension in your jaw or in your glutes. On your next inhale, we'll come back to cow pose. Exhaling for cat. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for cat. Inhaling for cow. And continue to do these movements at your own breath and your own pace. You can introduce S and C curves into the spine if that feels nice for you. Ready, we'll come to a nice neutral spine while the puppy drinks my water. From this neutral spine, we're going to pretend like our back is a jump rope. So start by arching into your cat pose, then coming to one side, and coming down into your cow pose, back to the other side, back into your cat. A nice big jump rope. You can incorporate your arms if that feels nice. If you want to bend your arms with it, you certainly can. And you can go both directions there. And when you're back to your neutral spine, we'll shake out the hips. And I want you to imagine the tip of your tailbone. And I want you to draw a figure 8 in the sky with the tip of the tailbone. Really opening into the sides of the hips. You can exaggerate the sides of that 8, the sides of the infinity symbol. If you hear cracking and creaking, you can make smaller symbols or slower symbols. When you've had enough of that, I want you to come to a point between the shoulder blades, a little below the neck. Now see if you can draw a figure 8 with that point right there. Just moving in the shoulders, really imagining the shoulders or your hips, really exaggerating out this shape and drawing it out to either side. You can go the opposite direction. And then when you're done with that, you can shake it all out, coming to a nice neutral spine. If you have a block available, you can use it. If you have a racquetball, you can use it. Or you can go without a prop. Just grab, we're just placing something in between that bent leg, activating that quad, keeping that foot flexed nice and tight, grabbing something in the back of the knee. We'll do 5 leg lifts here. Inhaling up and exhaling down. If you're anything like me, really concentrate on keeping those hips square in space. Stretching the muscles that are supposed to be stretched, not the ones I'm transferring my weight to. On the top of the fifth, we'll just do a little bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And drop that knee down. We're going to bring it out to the side like we're a dog peeing. Drop down. Do 4 more leg lifts to the side. 2 out. And on the top of the fifth one, we'll do 5 bounces. And bring that knee back. You can stretch it out, drop that block. Make sure your hips are squared towards the mat. Do 5 leg lifts here. At the top of that fifth one, you can do 5 little pulses. And we'll bring that leg back to our tabletop pose. Switching to the other leg, you can add a prop behind the knee if you'd like. I'm going to do 5 leg lifts, nice and straight, nice and square in the body. And then on top of that fifth one, we'll do little bounces. And extend that leg out. Oh, no, we can't. How silly of me. Bring that leg down. We'll bring it out to the side. And we'll do 5 leg lifts to the side. And on the top of the fifth one, we'll do a little bounce. And then we can bring that leg down. Extend the leg out to the back. We'll do 5 leg lifts here. And on the top of that fifth one, we'll do 5 bounces. And then you can bend the knee, bring it back. And then I'm going to get a drink of water. There's some dog spit in it. Give me a few breaths wherever you are. All right, so what we're going to do is start at the back of the mat. Like we were coming into that. I can't say the word. I want to say pyramid, pilgrim, pigeon, pony, camel. Coming back into that pose, we'll bring those hips forward in space. Relax the glutes. Pressing that left leg down into the ground, we're going to lift the right leg into the air. Nice right angle in that right knee. Feet are like on train tracks, even with the hips. Hello, train. From here, we're just going to bend slightly into that front psoas muscle. So you can just lean in a little bit on that right knee. Your next exhale will come back to those nice right angles in the knees. Okay. We're going to put the back toes under and lift up the back knee. You can use your hands on the mat if you want, but we'll come into kind of a low lunge. Now we're going to step this foot forward in space and bring the back knee down. Mats aren't really big enough for this, so you can shuffle yourself back. So the opposite leg is in front now. And we'll just lean forward again, keeping that front heel on the mat. Just lean forward in that psoas muscle. You're in a nice straight line. Hips are square to the front of the mat. From here, we're going to take that back knee back in space a little bit. I'm just going to stretch that front leg forward and come into a nice runner's stretch. The more straight this leg can be, the better. We are reaching the forehead towards the knee. Hips are square towards the front of the room, not whatever my hips are doing. Bring the leg back. Don't even think about it and kick out the other one towards the front to come into your runner stretch on this side. Hips are nice and square towards the front of the room. Bring both legs back to our tabletop pose. From here, we'll tuck those back toes under and press back to downward facing dog. You can pedal out and down dog. Your feet can be hips width distance apart or further apart. When you're ready, we'll lift those heels up in the air and then reach them back down towards the mat. Breathing here, shaking out those hips. Excuse me. And your next inhale will we'll roll forward to plank. Pressing the ground away from you in plank. Making any adjustments you may need. Exhaling, pressing back to down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, opening up the hips. Option to drop that back leg behind you for rock star pose. Taking that back leg straight back behind you again. And releasing the foot down to the mat. On your next inhale, we'll lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Breathing here. Reaching that right heel down towards the mat. Exhaling to bend the knee and open the hips up. Wow. Full belly's out. On your next exhale, you can bring your foot back down to the mat, pressing back into your down dog, and step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Your first forward fold, so your knees can be straight or bent as much as you'd like. Make sure you're not falling into the arches of your feet. They're nice and rooted down on all four corners. On your next inhale, we're going to place the hands on the shins for a nice long flat back. We're going to exhale again and fold forward, this time a little bit deeper, whatever that means to you. While you're in this forward fold, see if you can make your figure eights in your hips again. If you'd like to get your shoulders involved in the motion, you can. When you're ready, we'll come to a nice stillness. Gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Feet are rooted into the ground. You can lean all four corners of the feet, and they're nice and pressed and grounded in. We can feel roots coming out of those feet and reaching into the mat. Toes are reaching to the sky, spread out nice and wide, and then pressing down into the ground like fingertips. Tailbone is nice and neutral. Hips are stacked above knees, above ankles. Shoulders are above your hips and your arms are nice and long. Start by inhaling the arms to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. We're going to tuck those ribs in and hold that beach ball in the sky between our arms. Bend those elbows back to kind of hit the back of your head with that beach ball. Do 5 lifts here. And on that last one, when you're in that down position, do 5 little bounces. Bringing that beach ball back up to the sky. We're going to twist from the midsection only, keeping the hips straight towards the front of the room. From this twist, we want to fold down to the side. Nothing too drastic. Inhaling up to the center, exhaling to the front. We're going to go ahead and twist at the midsection. And exhale to fold a little forward. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling that beach ball forward, pressing it into the ground. Inhaling, pressing your hands against your shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward, plant your hands and step back to a plank pose. Going through your vinyasa or lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And exhaling back to down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards or in a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward and inhaling to gently roll up to stand. Releasing your arms to either side. All right. Hands at your sides, we'll inhale them above your head, holding that beach ball up above the sky. Pressing into it, it's resisting you. Relaxing all down through the spine. From here, we're going to fold forward, press that beach ball into the ground till it pops. Bring your hands to your shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Go through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, pressing back to down dog. Nice deep breath in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards. You're going to forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can place your hands on shins for a nice long flat back. And on your next exhale, fold forward. Inhaling to stand in a mountain pose. Inhaling your arms up above your head for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for Vinyasa. Inhale for Upward Cobra. Pressing back to down dog. Nice deep breath in downward facing dog. Your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards. You're going to forward fold at the front of the mat. And here you can place your hands on your shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale the arms above your head for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, folding forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. You can lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and press back to downward. Breathing in downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn the forward fold at the front of the mat. Your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back. Nope. We're going to stand up this time. Standing up to mountain pose. Shake everything out. Okay. Do one more like that. Inhaling your arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale, pressing back to down dog. Your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, place hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, and inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Arms are long, feet are pressing into the ground. We're going to start our chair pose. Feet can be any width, distance apart from each other that you'd like. And we're just going to start by tucking that tailbone under, tilting it under, tucking it under, tilting, tucking. And just lean back like you want to sit back in a chair. You don't have to go so far. You don't have to lift your heels off the ground. Just round the back. And see if while you're rounding that back, see if you can bring that chest forward. Bring your arms out. On your next exhale, we'll bring the hands to the ground for a forward fold. Plant your hands, we'll step back to downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Coming up for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And pressing back to down dog. On your next inhale, we'll bring that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee, swing that leg forward. Help it if you need to. Get into this nice low lunge. Feel That stretch from before when we're really going into that psoas muscle and pulling forward. You really feel that back leg pulling forward and bringing that knee down. When we've had enough of that, we'll come back into our nice little lunge here, rotating that back knee down. Actually, I changed my mind. Let's keep that back knee up. We'll drop it to the ground. And from here, we'll lift the arms into the air and gaze at the thumbs for a gentle back bend. Feeling that front stretch and that psoas muscle there. Exhaling, we're going to frame that front foot. Go ahead and bring that heel a little closer. I want to come into our runner stretch again. And we'll bring that front foot back to meet the back. If you're in tabletop, you can press back to downward facing dog. From here, you can roll forward to plank. Go through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. Nice deep breath in downward facing dog. Then we're going to lift the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend the knees, swing the foot forward, help it if you need to. We're going to come into a nice deep low lunge, bringing that knee down, almost touching the mat, really sinking into that front psoas muscle. From here, we'll drop that front knee down and bring the arms up into the air, gazing at your thumbs for a gentle back bend. Activate the glute muscle of your back leg. What I like to do is punch it. Really let it know it needs to be working right now. Then we'll go ahead and frame that front foot. Kick that heel out for a nice quick breath in that runner's stretch. Pick this front foot back to meet the back. Press back to downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to press back to down dog. Nice deep breath in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. You're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous one. Relax your arms to the side. Take a deep breath in mountain pose. All right. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the arms in the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, come into your chair pose. Nice deep breath in chair. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step back for your plank pose. Go through your vinyasa, and lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and pressing back to down dog. Breathing in downward facing dog. We're going to inhale the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. And the knee, exhale, bring that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Into your nice, sturdy, low lunge here. We're going to rotate that back heel down. Right angle in that front knee. Pressing the ground away from you, lift your chest up into space. Your hips are still squared towards the front of the room. Inhale your arms up for warrior one. On your next exhale, we're going to bring those arms behind you, interlace your fingers, and come down for your humble warrior. If you fall out of it, no big deal. You were supposed to. On your next inhale, we'll come back to warrior one. We're gonna exhale to frame that front foot, kick it back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank pose. Lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Exhaling, pressing back to down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, bring that foot forward, help it if you need to. Turn a nice, sturdy, low lunge. Make any adjustments you may need to for your balance. We're going to rotate that back heel down. Keep that front knee bent at as close to a 90-degree angle as we can. Then we're going to press the ground away, press the chest up into the air for warrior one. Interlace your hands behind you, weird thumb on top this time, and come down, humble warrior. On your next inhale, we'll come up to warrior one. Exhale, frame that front foot, kick it back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank pose, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Sing back to down. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards or a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous one. Okay, cool. Plenty of time. Okay. Standing mountain pose at the front of the mat. Let's lift the arms in the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling into chair pose. Nice deep breath in chair. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Go through your vinyasa. Meeting back in down dog. On your next inhale, you can lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend the knees, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Take a nice sturdy low lunge. Nice right angle with this front knee. Back edge of that back foot is glued to the mat. Pressing the ground away, come into a warrior one. Exhaling down to humble warrior. Pressing up to warrior one. Pressing out to warrior two. You internally and externally rotate those shoulders in warrior two. Reaching forward and back to reverse your warrior. Give that front knee a bit break while you come forward and down into triangle pose. You're gonna bend that front knee. We're gonna come into our side angle pose. From here, we're gonna rotate down. We're gonna kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Gonna roll forward to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. Nice deep breath here. We're going to lift that left leg into the air. Bend the knees, swing the foot forward. Help it if you need to. You're going to come into a nice, sturdy, low lunge here, rotating that back heel down to 45-degree angle and gluing that outer edge of the foot to the mat. Pressing the ground away, we'll come into warrior one. Exhaling down to warrior, or to humble warrior. Inhaling up to warrior one. Exhaling out to warrior two. From here, we'll flip that front hand forward and come back to reverse your warrior. From here, we can bend that, get that front knee rest and come into triangle pose. When you're ready, we'll come into side angle. You can windmill those arms down to the mat. Kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank. Lowering your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. Upward facing dog. And pressing back to down dog. Take 3 breaths in downward facing dog or child's pose, whichever is more restful. You're ready. You can step forward as your forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous. All right, beautiful. Okay. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, we'll lift the arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, come into your chair pose. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale for low cobra, upward facing dog, and press back to down dog. On your next inhale, you can lift that right leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Come into your nice, sturdy, low lunge. Rotate that back heel down. Press the ground away from you and come into your warrior one. Exhale down for humble warrior. Inhale up for warrior one. Exhale out for warrior two. Inhale back to reverse your warrior. Exhale out for triangle pose. Inhale up for warrior two. And exhale down for side angle. And here we'll windmill these arms down to in a wide-legged forward fold on the side of the mat. And walk your fingertips behind you for a gentle stretch. We're going to come into a side squat. You can do whatever it means to you. I would just like stronger thighs, so I'm just going to come down halfway. And press that bum back up in the air and come down on the other side. Press that bum back in the air. We'll walk the fingertips to the top of the mat Kick that front foot back to meet the back for downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. So weird. Coming up for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and pressing back to down dog. On your next inhale, lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog, bend the knee, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Come into your nice, sturdy, low lunge. Nice right angle in that front knee. Back leg is glued to the mat. Pressing that mat away. Ooh. Coming into your warrior one. Exhaling down to reverse your warrior. Humble warrior. Inhaling up for warrior one. Exhaling out for warrior two. Coming forward and then back to reverse your warrior. Straightening that knee, coming forward and down for triangle pose. Coming forward and bending your knee, first warrior two. Then bend, bringing that forearm to the thigh for side angle pose. From here, we can windmill those arms down. So we're in our wide-legged forward fold on the side of the mat. From here, we're going to heel to those feet together and come into your squat. Go ahead and lower your hands to the ground, push that bum back in the air, and we'll come back to our downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, dropping your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and pressing back to down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards. You're in forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can gently roll up to stand. So you're in a mountain pose at the front of the mat. You can shake it all off. We're going to come into our balancing poses. So you can go ahead and wake those feet up if you'd like. Start by putting all our weight into one of these feet. Your heel can be at your ankle, your foot against your calf, or you can press your heel into your inner thigh. Can I do it? There are days when I can and days when I cannot. All right. Hands can be at heart center. Branches blowing in the breeze. Or simply on your hips. And pick a point to stare at for balance. You can release your foot from your leg, bring it forward, give it a little shake, and rub that standing leg. Could be. You're not supposed to get your ears on. Waking up that opposite foot. Again, you can kickstand that heel to the ankle, put the foot against the calf, or bring that heel into the inner thigh. Hands can be at your hips, at heart center, branches blowing in the breeze. You can pick a spot in front of you to help you focus. You can release your foot from your leg, bring your knee forward, kick your foot out, maybe a little further, maybe a little further, and give that standing leg a nice massage on that outer muscle. Great, it's okay. It's not time yet. You don't have to look at me like you're dying. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, pressing both feet into the ground. You're gonna lift the hands into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for low cobra, upward facing dog. Press back to down dog. And here we're gonna lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, bring that shin forward, and set yourself up for pigeon pose. That back leg should be straight back behind you. And your hip point should be even with your heel. Give yourself any support you may need. Gently fold forward to pigeon pose. Ready, you can lift your head, neck, and chest off the mat. Shuffle your leg behind you, so maybe you're in a tabletop pose. Give your hips a little shake from side to side. Maybe make them a nice figure eight shape. And we'll press back to downward facing dog. Lifting that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swing that shin forward. Come position yourself for a nice pigeon pose. Give yourself any props you may need and gently fold forward. When you're ready, you can lift your head, neck, and chest off the mat. Wiggle your butt behind you, come into a tabletop. Then tuck those toes under for downward facing dog. Last vinyasa, you can roll forward to plank, lower your knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale back to down dog. You're going to roll forward to a plank and lower yourself down in one motion, in one line, as close to that as possible. You need a core to do that. Go and come to your back and we'll gently windshield wiper your knees back and forth. And if you'd like, you can bring your feet a little bit wider than the mat, and do a nice long windshield wiper, even bringing the opposite hip up off the ground, maybe. If you have a block, you can come into a restorative bridge just by placing that block under your sacrum. If not, you can do active bridges. Simply, we're going to take the feet so they're just about able to be raised by the fingertips. Place them on the mat, press the ground away from you. Tilt and tuck your tailbone a couple of times, and on the last tuck, lift those hips into the air. Option to wiggle your shoulder blades behind you and interlace your hands behind your back. Take 3 to 5 good breaths wherever you are. On your next exhale, you can release your hands, release your shoulder blades, release your spine down to the mat. You can windshield wiper your hips back and forth. And when you're ready, you can tilt and tuck your pelvis a couple more times. And on that final tuck, you can bring those hips into the sky, lifting your chest up in the air. Option to bring those shoulder blades underneath you. And interlace your hands behind your back. You can release your hands, release your shoulders, release your vertebrae back down to the ground. You can windshield wiper your knees back and forth. And when you're ready to come back to stillness, you can tuck and tilt that tailbone a couple of times. And on your final tuck, lift those hips into the air. Lost where we were. Go ahead and release. Drop everything down. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Remove any props you may have. All right, we're going to bring that right ankle to the left knee. Lift the left knee into space. Flex both feet. And from here, draw circles with your left knee coming towards you. And when your left knee's towards you, maybe you feel a little spot that's stuck or sore and you want to stay there for a few minutes, you can do that. If you'd like to incorporate your arms and pull your leg up, maybe release it from the other. Oh. Or if circles is nice, continue doing circles both directions. All right. And then when you're ready, we're going to straighten that left leg. Hold onto your right leg nice and tight. We're going to point the toe on that left leg. We'll do 5 leg lifts here, dropping down and coming back up. Option to flex the foot on the way back. Make a nice fluid motion out of it. And the last leg lift will come down, hover above the mat for a few inches, and then just do 5 or so bounces. And you can release that leg back down. Holding this right leg in nice and tight. Just kind of making circles with the leg. If you find someplace stuck, by all means, you can always stay there. From here, you're going to take this right leg and put it into your right hand. It can be your foot, your knee, your calf, whatever that means to you. And you're just going to bring it to the right side. Both of your hip points are still on the mat. You're just bringing this arm and leg out to the side. And then when you're done with that, we're going to bring them to the opposite side. You can pass that foot over to your left leg and really stretch that leg over to the left side. If your hip comes off the mat, no big deal. You can try to reach it back down. Don't do it. Don't do it. From here, we're going to release that leg so both legs are back onto the ground. We're going to place the feet on the ground. High. Bring that left ankle to the right leg. Lift that right foot into the sky. At a right ankle. Flex both feet. Draw circles in the sky with that right knee, really pulling that leg towards your body. You can go both directions on your circles. And then if you'd like, you can grab that foot with your arms. We'll extend that right leg into the air, point the toe, bring it down to the ground. Flex the foot, bring it back up, down, up, 3, high, 4. I know, Clem, I know. On your 5th leg lift, you can drop it down so it's just about hovering above the mat, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or so balances. You can drop that foot down to the ground. We're going to put this left foot in the left hand and stretch it out to the left side, whatever that means to you. Your knee can be bent. You can be grabbing your thigh, your knee, your ankle, your foot. We're going to leave both the hip points down on the mat right now. Then when you're ready, we're going to transfer that leg to the other hand and bring it across the side of the side. That hip comes up off the ground a couple inches, no big deal. We're not going all the way across yet, but and you can return that foot to the center, release it down, and give your knees a little shake out here. We're going to do a gentle inversion. Whatever that means to you. It can be a block under the sacrum and your legs in the air. It could be the legs against the wall. It could just be legs in the air or supported shoulder stand. You come into a plow if you'd like. Just getting those legs in the air. If you are lifting your legs in the air or doing block under the sacrum, you can always play with internally and externally rotating those legs. Flexing those feet, and we'll do something I did in flexibility yesterday, which is hard. But flexing those feet, internally and externally rotating those legs, can you bring them down to a big V as wide as you can? Whatever that means to you. Still internally and externally rotating the legs. And then bringing them towards the center. Still internally and externally rotating them. And if you've had enough of that, you can work on pointing and flexing your feet, pointing your toes and flexing your feet. And when you've had enough of your inversion, you can release any of the blocks you may have, release yourself down back to the mat. We'll start by hugging both knees into the chest, nice and tight. You can make circles with the knees for your low back. You're going to grab the right knee in nice and tight, drop that left leg down to the mat. Bring your right knee over to the left side, all the way over. Your hip can come off the mat. Feel that twisting in that midsection, the wringing out of the rag. Release any tension in your glutes. Your next exhale will come back to center. Hug both knees into the chest. This time we'll drop both knees over to that same side. Imagine there's a hook pulling your hips down and away so that they're stacked directly on top of each other. Your arms can be out to the side. You can have cartoon cactus arms. The gaze can be towards the ceiling or across your opposite shoulder. No barking. Uh-oh. Gonna be some barking. Your next inhale, bring those knees back to center. Extend the right leg out. Bring your left leg across the right side. Again, your hips can come, your one hip can come off the ground. You can really ooze into it. Your next inhale, you can come back to center. We'll drop both, hug your knees back into your chest and drop both knees down to the opposite side. Your next inhale, you can come back to center. You can hug those knees into your chest. Reach towards your insteps to come into happy baby, but really enjoy maybe pulling one leg at a time out the side. Maybe you're working on bringing those knees into your armpits, or maybe you want to bring your hands to the outside, maybe like underneath your legs to the outside, like you're working on making yourself into a subtle. Whatever feels nice for you. Ready, you can hug those knees back in the chest, nice and tight. You could release them down and come into your final resting pose. Letting all your hard work sink into your bones and muscles. And letting the ground support you and hold you and give you everything you need. You can begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. You can make small motions in your fingers and toes. You can roll onto one side using your hand as a pillow and take one breath in the fetal position. And then using that same slow quality of movement, you can come up to a comfortable seat. I know. We're going to close class with one Om, so you can bring your hands to heart center. We'll inhale for Om. Om. Namaste.